Good morning, everyone. And I see that I have a couple people waiting here. I'm super excited to see you guys at the very first ever live for the Video Lady. Thank you so much for joining us. Super grateful that you're here. As we're getting started and people are joining, please just drop me a line in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. And we will be getting started shortly. Hope everybody is enjoying our, well, here in Seattle, we still have a lot of smoke from the fires. And so the sun is trying to get through, but it can't quite do it just yet. But that hopefully will be coming our way a little bit later next week, perhaps. And so go ahead and jump on in, drop me a line, let me know where you're watching from. Super excited that you guys are here. Thank you so much for coming. Very first one ever. This is historic, you guys. So let's get this party started. We are going to be talking about exciting stuff today, and I can't wait to get you guys going on this product here. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and just get started. And I am so grateful that you guys joined me today. And we are doing something new. As I mentioned before on Ask the Video Lady, we're doing a live InVideo tutorial training. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Amy Thomas from the Video Lady, and I created this channel to help women tell their stories using video. And I'm here to give you the tools that you need to create, edit, and market your videos. So if you're just getting started with video, this is the right place for you. And I put out a new video every week on Thursdays. So if you are new to this channel, make sure that you think about subscribing and hitting the notification button so that every time I go live or every time I create a new video, you'll get notified. Okay, so let's get started talking about InVideo. InVideo is what a lot of people call a video maker. So you'll see that sometimes in different blog posts or online, you'll see video makers, and InVideo is one of these video makers. And there's a lot of these on the market now, actually, and each of them kind of has their little spin on things. Some do animations, some do, whiteboard kind of animations, and each one has its good and bad points. But today we're talking about InVideo, and one of the things that I really like about InVideo is that it's pretty easy to learn. And it also has a lot of really great templates and tools for customizing this as your own. So when you are getting started and you haven't used video before, this is a really great place to cut your teeth, so to speak, and get into the video editing world. And then once you have mastered this, it won't be a big step to take on, say, an Adobe Rush or Adobe Premiere, even all those. They will be building blocks for you. Okay, so if you are interested in trying InVideo out at any point, then go ahead and check out my link in the description below. I have a personalized link there for InVideo. You can get started. It is a free software. There is also a paid version, but the free software will get you started, and there is no fee for that. I also wanted to share with you guys something new and exciting that I am doing, that I am just opening up for you. And oh, I see I've got some people here. Hi from Virginia. A great big beautiful tomorrow. Another Virginian, Patty. It's so nice to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Super excited to have you guys on here today. But what I wanted to announce is that I am opening up a Facebook group for all of my video peeps. If you are interested in asking questions or anything surrounding your videos, whether that's social media videos, whether it's YouTube videos, Facebook videos, all the questions, editing, creating, come join my Facebook group. It's called the Video Lady Mastermind, and it will ask you to be approved. So, but go ahead and jump on over there if you're interested in that. And Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow has asked, does InVideo work for both the PC and the Mac? And the answer to that is yes. You can use it on both. They do not, unfortunately, have a phone app. So if you are trying to do editing on your phone, you wouldn't be able to use this program. However, I find phone editing to be a little difficult. And maybe that's because I'm getting to be an old lady here, but I prefer to edit on my computer. It's just so much easier. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okay, I am going to get started here with InVideo. And if you go to the InVideo screen, first of all, the thing that you're going to see first is this kind of main screen. They have a ton of things that you could do here. They have a lot of pre-made templates. And I love these personally because for me, pre-made templates make things a lot easier. It's so much easier to just change colors and drag and drop things than it is to start from scratch sometimes, especially when you're trying to think up something clever. And I am not always feeling clever and I still need to get stuff done. So pre-made templates are my favorite. And you can see here that there's a lot of things you can search for. And you also have the option of choosing. So for example, if you're trying to create a Facebook story or you're doing some kind of Instagram story, and that's what we're going to actually work on today is doing an Instagram story. Then you have options. If you're doing a YouTube, you can do landscape. And there are a number of different things here you can scroll through and see. And they give you the formats for those. So that's pretty exciting. If you don't know what you want to do, you can also just scroll through and try different things. But today, for the purposes of this group, I have, very exciting, come up with a fake food blog because who doesn't love food? And it's the Flavor Queen. We're going to help the Flavor Queen out today. So we're going to help the Flavor Queen do an Instagram story. And I'm going to type in here food blog just to get us going. And you can see here we've got widescreen templates, we've got vertical templates, and because we're doing an Instagram story post, then we're going to actually do a vertical template. That's the best for those. And I am going to pick on this one here. I'm not sure you can see that on the chat, but you'll see it here as soon as I select it. And we are going to choose this story. Okay. So we've got this really nice, let's see, I'm going to actually flip over to my full screen here. And so that hopefully you guys can see that a little bit better. And this is already set up for photos. So let me just talk a little bit about the screen and what you're going to see here. So over here on the left, you're going to see there's a number of things that you can do with the software. That you can select videos or images from a list of videos and images that they have that are available royalty free. And if you buy the paid versions, I believe that they have additional amounts of videos and images that you can use that are premium. So mine is showing the premium videos as well. So keep that in mind. If you're using the free version, you may not have access to the same photos. They also have music available. And one of the nice things about that is that, you know, they give you a number of categories. You can choose different things. So generally speaking, I'm going to go for happy and inspirational because what can I say? I like to be happy and inspirational. So, okay. And then you have text down here. They also have stickers. They also have effects that you can add. And we're going to go through all of these in more detail later on, but I just want to quickly explain what's here. They also have different shapes that you can choose from. And there are enhancers. So there's things like masks that you can add to make your photos look more beautiful. Collage layouts, that kind of thing. And then you can also upload your own stuff if you have your own. So for example, you can see here, I've got the Video Lady. They also have a branding setup. So one of the things that I did is I went in and added my branding into this so that it will populate that automatically. And we'll see that a little bit more later on. But that's what I've got uploaded here. Now, one of the things that is a little bit of a challenge is that your files can only be 800 megabytes. And if you're doing longer videos, that may be a challenge for you. But for the most part, if you're doing Instagram or Pinterest, that kind of stuff, it's going to be just fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop back up here to media, and we are going to talk about macarons today because I'm in a French mood. So we're going to pick macarons as our theme for today for our food blog. And basically, I'm taking this photo over here, this video, excuse me, and I'm just going to go ahead and pop it into, drag and drop it over here. And then it does give you the option, do you want to replace what's there or do you want to add it as a layer? And in this case, I'm going to replace it. And then you also have the option when you come into this, that you can actually come through, kind of scroll through and see what the video is doing here. And you can shorten it. So these little trim things here on the end, these little rectangles, allow you to kind of trim out your video. So if you don't want, so for example, here, I only want about 3 seconds of it. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it out here at about the 3-second mark. And then we're going to say done. Okay. Now you'll see that it pulled it in because it's a vertical story, and this is a widescreen shot. It pulled it in this way, and then it kind of has that dim stuff behind it, so you can see. Now I kind of like that for this particular one, and again, you can style these however you want to, but I am going to just make some adjustments here now that I've got this set. So I'm going to actually move the text. I'm going to pull it down a little bit so that I can see my video. And then I'm going to move this guy up so that he's still showing up, but he's not covering up my words. So now we've got this nice little picture that's moving, and we've got something over here. And then I am going to change the text here. So we are going to say, let's see here. What are we going to say? So this is an Instagram story, and I'm pretending that we want to get folks onto our food blog so that they can get our recipe for macarons. So I'm going to say something like, bring extraordinary home. And now you have options. If you look over here on the right side of your screen, you can change the style. So you can change the style of the font here. If we wanted something a little bit different, we can say bring extraordinary home. We have regular, bold, medium, all the stuff that you would ever want for that. You also have, back over here, an opportunity to change the color. So in this case, I'm going to leave it white because I think that stands out well on this kind of pinkish brown background, but you do have the option to change the color. You can also add in a drop shadow. So sometimes that's nice to help make it stand out. And then you also have the option of animating it. So you can animate a line, you can animate a word, you can animate a character, or you can just animate the whole thing all at one time. You have options there. And then you do have options on how it comes in. So whether it fades in from the right, the left. In this case, I am going to have it do a zoom in. And then we're going to give it about a half a second for the duration of that animation. You also have the option down here to animate your text box. So if you have a text box behind it that's providing a different contrasting color, you can animate that as well. And you can also change your project colors. And we'll talk more about this later. But one of the things that I really love is that you have the template colors that get applied automatically, but you can also set up your own brand colors if that's what you do. And then you can automatically apply those brand colors to your work here just with the click of a button here. And then you also have the option to put in some kind of a custom thing. So if you've got your template and your brand and you're doing something extra on the side, Christmas party or something like that, where you want different colors, you have the option to add those in. So for today, we are going to go ahead and leave it as the template. And then we are going to keep going here. So one of the things that I wanted to show you guys down here in the bar is how easy it is to move things around. If you have, for example, okay, we have 3 seconds of this particular clip, and say I change my mind and I want to make it 4 seconds, all I have to do is drag this little bar here. I can adjust the time accordingly, and it's going to adjust everything with it. Now, one of the things you can also do, if that doesn't work, is you can also come over here to this advanced timeline. And this advanced timeline lets you see in kind of real time here everything that's on your in that little section of the video. So for example, we've got the text that says bring extraordinary home, and then you can see my media. I had set it to 3 seconds, so that did not actually increase the length when I increased the length of the whole clip. And so what I can do here is I can just drag it out, and voila, I've got a longer clip that's now 4 seconds. And so if you guys are excited about this, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you have learned so far. I'm excited to hear how this is going to change your life. Okay, so now we're going to move on here, and give me 1 second here. We are going to pop back out here to the basic timeline so you can see this is the very first scene that we've added. And if you want to play that scene, you can. It's really easy. You just hit the play button, and then it will give you kind of a preview of what that is going to look like. And now we're going to pop over to our second timeline here, which is the ending timeline. And they've got pancakes in there, but I actually want to see how the sausage is made, or the macarons in this case. So we are going to go ahead and drag over here. 1 second. We're going to drag this particular one over. And I'm going to replace it. And again, I don't want such a long clip, so we're going to go with this here. I'm going to say from 2 to 5 seconds. So that'll be about 3 seconds long when it's all said and done. And then I noticed that my words here are probably a little bit hard to read there. So I'm going to move them down. And I'm going to move this over a little bit. And we're going to say, get the recipe. So this is going to be our call to action. And for color, I'm going to actually make it black, I think, because I think that will be a little bit easier to read for the purposes of our demonstration here. But obviously, you could choose any color you wanted. You can type in a color, hex code, or you can choose just anything you like and go from there. Now you'll see here that this automatically brought in my logo. So I'm going to just make that a little bit bigger because my logo is pretty small. And it would be kind of hard to see otherwise, and we will pretend we're food bloggers today. So you're going to get the recipe here. Now, say I change my mind and I'm like, I just don't really love the way that looks. Well, I can pop over here to my text over here, and you can see we've got a ton of different options as far as different kinds of text here that we can choose from. So I think I'm going to come in here, and there's a bunch of different ones I can choose from, but I'm going to go ahead and pick this one here, and I'm going to select that. And when you select that, you can see it just pops up automatically. So I'm going to select my old one here and just hit my delete key and get rid of this get a recipe thing here that I don't want. And I'm going to use this guy down here. I think this is going to be even better. And then I'm going to change this, get the recipe. And again, you could change colors, styles, whatever you like here. Really easy to do. Okay, so we've got our basics here. And if I want to now play everything and just see what it looks like, I hit this button. And voila, I've got a Instagram story. But say I'm here and I watch this through and I'm thinking, I really just need something else here. So I'm going to add a scene. So now let's take a look at what you can do to customize and add an additional scene and how easy this is in the software. Okay, add a scene. If you click that button, you're going to see over here on the left that you get 3 different options. One is blank, and one is, or the other 2 are just like the ones before it. So you could actually use that to copy a similar type of scene as something else that you wanted to do before. But we're going to go ahead and add a blank scene just so you can see how easy that is. So I'm going to select that one, and you can see that it just adds it here on the end. And you can also drag this over. So say I don't want that to be my last scene and I want it to be my second to the last scene. I have the option of just popping it in here and putting it before that end scene that has the logo and the call to action. So I'm going to build my scene here. I'm going to go back up to my media, and we're going to pick this other really beautiful picture of macaroons here. So I'm just in a macaroon mood. And we're going to put about 3 seconds on it again. And as a rule of thumb, so when you're talking about some of these different things, you know, if you were on Pinterest, for example, you would want these to not be more than about 10 seconds in length if you were doing, say, a video pin, which is kind of a similar style. And so you want to think about that when you're doing your videos here. What is the audience that you're doing it for? And again, see how here in this case, I don't want this to be just a piece of my screen. So I'm going to zoom it in and make it actually really big here. And I can also move it over so that I see the part of it that I actually want to see. And again, if you guys are getting value out of this, please make sure you hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe if you are interested in getting more information. So here I'm going to add a secret. This is our secret recipe in our hypothetical food blog. We're going to say with our secret recipe. And I'm going to change the style here. Where did my lemonade go? So you have a lot of different options you can see here for your fonts, excuse me. And we're going to go to the Lemonada again and make it a little bit bigger, I think. Let's see. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and play this through. I'm actually going to take that logo away because we don't want that on our second screen here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a playthrough so you guys can see what this looks like now. Okay, so real quick, you can see that that second clip has just been added in pretty seamlessly, really. And now you're kind of ready to go. You can make some changes here. So one of the things we haven't talked about yet, but that is the transitions between the different clips. So if you want to change a transition, you can come in here and click on this little button, this kind of double arrows pointing at each other. And then you have a ton of different animations that you can choose from. And these will kind of show you, give you a little demonstration of what exactly each one does. And you have a lot of different options. So I'm going to use, for this one, I'm going to use the cross zoom is what I'm going to select. And then you also have an option here on the slide right. I don't so much care for that one for this particular one. So we're going to choose a different one. And I'm going to go with the diagonal light on this one. And that, my friends, is how you make transitions. Super, super duper easy. So let's just play it through one more time real quick, just so you can see how those changes affect it. So here we've got our secret recipe, and now it is all done. So what else can you do? Well, there's a whole ton of things. Let me give you an example. One of the things here is on this page, for example, so we're doing an Instagram story right now, but say I want to change that out and I decide I want to make this a Pinterest video pin, and I'm not going to say get the recipe here, or excuse me, let's see. Maybe I'm actually going to leave it an Instagram story, but I decide get the recipe is not what I want to say. What I really want to say is swipe up, because in Instagram stories, you might want them to swipe up, or in Instagram. And I go to my stickers here, and there's a whole section on calls to action. And swipe up is one of the options. So you've got a whole bunch of different things you can do here. You can subscribe. You can do install now, log in, join us, all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this get a recipe here. And again, if you select it and you hit the delete key on your keyboard, it gets rid of it really easy. And now I'm going to go ahead and click on this swipe up and add that instead to my recipe here. So now I have a cool little sticker, if I play this, that has little sparkles and whatnot, and it gives that call to action to swipe up. And there's a whole ton of different effects that you can choose from in the sticker section. And then so there's also a number of effects that you can use. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say, so say we want entertainment, we're going to go to these kind of light type of effects. I am going to choose something like this. So now when I play this scene, you're going to see the kind of little sparkles happening in the background. It gives you some extra movement there. And you also have the option, let's just go to scene 2 here. We'll do a little bit more. You have the option of doing other kinds of effects. For example, light leaks. So we're going to add one of those on there. Now, again, I just want to remind you that if you go to the advanced timeline on all of this stuff, it gives you the option to make changes or adjustments. So, for example, if you didn't want that overlay to be over the entire thing, you could adjust where it starts and stops. And you also have the ability to change when the text appears and when it disappears, and animate all of that. Okay, so we're going to head back over here to our main screen. I'm going to go back to the basic timeline. And one of the things that is also really, really easy about this is exporting. So up here in the right-hand corner, there's an export button. And when I click on that export button, it takes just a second to load there. So give just a moment here. the calls to action really make this easy. Great, big, beautiful tomorrow. It totally does not take hours, Lori. I love the all the things that we can do with this. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Give it just a few more seconds here. I hope that my internet is going to survive this here. Time for a water break, everybody. Just going to pop back over to me for a minute, say hello to you all while I'm waiting for this to load. If you have any questions about the software, now might be a great time. Go ahead and post those in the comments below. I'd really love to see what you guys are thinking about. We'll try to answer any questions that you have while we're waiting for this guy to load. Okay, I've kind of popped it back over. I don't want to make you guys sit here and wait. Lori, you ask, I'm using the paid version. You were asking if I was using the free or the paid version. I'm using the paid version. It's $10 a month, so it's really pretty affordable. But there's a little bit of a cost to that one. That does also get rid of the watermark, and that's something that when you do a lot of videos, you don't really want to have somebody else's watermark on your stuff. So that's one reason why I like to use the paid version. Let's see if we try this again. My apologies here about the exporting. There we go. It is supposed to be fast. I'm going to swap us back over here. Hold on just one second. And as you can see here, it gives us a job ID. This isn't one of the things I love most about this. I do wish that it was let you name your project from the beginning, but it does let you make an adjustment. So here we could say macaroon, and then you can see it's going to download it into 1080p, which is high def, which is really what you want. And I think that you can also use the Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube share links if you want to. I don't actually recommend this for posting your stuff. I think it's always better to post it native, but you do have that option if you want it. And you can also send a link to people, copy that link and send it over so that people can actually look at it. The other thing that this is really easy to work with on is that once it's done, any projects that you've done, they're saved in your project folder. And you can see here, if I go to my project folder, I have a whole bunch of different things that I've been working on. I created the Video Lady intro using this for my YouTube videos that I'm getting ready to debut. I'm still putting the final touches on it, but that's going to be coming soon. And I'm using InVideo to do that. So it's really great. Again, if you go to InVideo, they also have a ton of tutorials and different kinds of content, things that you can watch. They also have this feature, and I'm just going to touch on this briefly because I am not sure how I feel about this feature yet, but it is there, and it's probably good for some things, which is a text to video feature, which kind of allows you to get a robotic voice in your footage. But basically you can set something up, and when you type in the captions, it will generate a voiceover for you. So I do not recommend that for most things. You really kind of want that person-to-person touch, but there could be some uses for it in different cases that people might find that easy to work with. What other questions do you guys have for me? I would love to answer your questions now. I think we've kind of gone through the basics. I hope that you have gotten a lot of value out of this tutorial and that you are excited about creating your very first videos. Come on, guys, we can do this. And hopefully this takes some of the scariness out of doing video. Any questions for me, go ahead and post those in the comments. I am just going to share with you guys a couple other things. Don't forget to join the my Facebook group, the Video Lady Mastermind, and we'll put that down here just one more time. And then also feel free to check out my website, which is thevideolady.expert. If you are interested in getting more tips or you want to get a couple of my freebies, I do have a content creation planner that you can download, and also a storyboarding template so that when you're thinking about how to lay out your videos, you can use that template to help you get started. So check those out. Those are also down in the description below. And then if you guys are ready to make a video of your own, post that down in the comments for me. Let me know what you're planning to do first. And then Lori asks, what is my favorite feature? You know, Lori, I think that for me, my favorite feature is just the fact that the templates are there and they make it so easy to work with. I don't really like working from a blank slate. I know some people do, but I'm not one of those people. I do much better if I can start with something and then tweak it to make it my own. And so I think that's my favorite feature, is just the number of templates that they have, and they're really nice professional templates. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for joining. Again, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to give me a shout at thevideolady.expert or join us in our Facebook group. Thank you so much, all of you, for watching. I really appreciate it. We're going to kind of land the plane here if nobody has any further questions. But I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will catch you next time.